everyone, welcome back to Michelle Reads and Vlogs, and in today's video we are letting Google decide how long we are going to read for today. So I have seen this video done by other people. This is not a unique idea. I've seen Gabby Reads do it, I've seen Shaughnessy Schroeder do it. So what we are going to do is use Google's random number generator to decide how many hours we are going to read for today. So let's get set up on the computer. Okay, so we are going to random number generator. See, I tried a spin wheel of this before. I just want the Google random number generator. Oh yeah, get rid of spin wheel. Random number generator. Here we go. Here's the Google one. So you can already see, this is probably from when I practiced it, the min and max. So usually when people did this video, they go for a maximum of 1 hour, a minimum of 1 hour and a maximum of 12. I'm going to be completely honest. It is 20 past 11 in the morning on my day off. There is no way that I could read for 12 hours. Like, that is just unrealistic for me. I have too many other things to do on my day off. I can't just sit and read for 12 hours. You know, I've got to walk dogs, I've got to cook food, I've got to look after myself, and I do suffer from like chronic fatigue. That's not great at the moment. I don't have a lot of energy. So what I've done, and what you can see, is I've got it on a maximum of 10. I think 10 hours for me would still be a massive challenge. Like, it still would be challenging, but it would be doable, it would be realistic. Whereas 12, by the end of it, I would just have to be like, sorry guys, I'm going to sleep. Why have I said guys again? I never say guys. I haven't done that in years, and now I've done it 2 days in a row on the internet. So minimum of 1, maximum of 10. 4 must have been the last time I practiced this. Let's hit generate. If it's 4, that would actually be really good. 8 hours. Okay, we're going to be reading for 8 hours today. That's still going to be hard work for me. That's a lot of hours. Oh my god, I feel like I'm going to cry. It's definitely, I am crying. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. Hopefully I don't cry throughout today. It is going to be a challenge. But, oh my gosh, give me 2 seconds. Oh, why? Why am I getting emotional over this? Oh, I swear, I blame half of it on hormones. Not even like normal hormones, just, oh, I've got some stuff going on health-wise at the moment, and yeah, it probably is a little bit hormonal. Oh my gosh, okay. I didn't expect crying on the internet today, I'm so sorry. That is real life for you. So you'd have seen that I've been holding these 3 books. So I guess for 8 hours, it is going to be 3 books. My current physical read is Masters of Death by Olivie Blake. I'm about a quarter of the way through this. I'm about 100 pages in, and it's really good. It's like nothing I've ever read. So we've got an estate agent who is a vampire, who is trying to sell a house that is haunted by a ghost of a chap who was murdered there, and he's basically not ready to move on yet. So she's like, well, I need to sell the house, so let's find out what happened to him, because he can't remember how he died, how he was murdered. He was murdered though, we know that. So she has got in contact with the godson of death, who's a medium, and he's a bit of a fraud. He's not a very good medium, but he's godson, no, he's death's godson, so he's got connections. And then between them, they know loads of other types of creatures, I think they're called. So like a reaper, an angel, yeah, other types of creatures as well. So yeah, it really suits this title, Masters of Death, but the tone of the writing is so kind of laid back and humorous, and it's like nothing I've ever read before. It's definitely not a serious book. and I'm enjoying it. So yeah, I'm gonna get on with this as my physical read. I had finished my last audiobook, which was the third book in the Red Rising series, Morning Star, and I just didn't feel ready to start the next one yet. I was like, I just want a little break, maybe for a week or two. Maybe I'll start it in November for book 4 of the Red Rising series. So I was like, well, what else do I want to read on audio or listen to on audio? So I've started listening to Silver Nitrate. I'm about 4 chapters in now, so I'm a bit further along than this. So because we are reading for 8 hours today, I will definitely be doing some of that with listening to this audio. I love how shiny this is. Look at that. I'll definitely be reading some of the audiobook. And I actually haven't got on to my short book of the month yet, which is The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. So I'm kind of thinking, do I want to get into this today? I think because we're doing 8 hours, if I finish my current book, then I'm gonna be getting into this. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I think what I'm going to try and do is check in every hour or so. Like when I was thinking, oh, this vlog might only be like 2 or 3 hours long. It might have been every hour. But yeah, 8 hours is a lot. I will try and check in not too frequently because that'll get boring, and let you know how I'm getting on. And let's see if I cry for a second time today. Hopefully. I don't really cry very much at all, so yeah, let's see how we get on with it. Okay, so first reading of the day, I'm going to carry on with the audiobook of Silver Nitrate. Whilst I'm almost ashamed to show this, I need to clean up my kitchen a little bit. It's a bit of a mess. So first thing we're going to do is some cleaning and listening to our audiobook. So let's get our timer started. Yes, I have a very bright background on my iPad. So let's get started. Stopwatch. Let's go.
Tristan's coping tactic was erasure. He was avoiding.
We have a clean kitchen. We've done almost 40 minutes of our audiobook, and the next job is to take somebody, for you, for a walkies. You wanna go walkies? They're territory. You wanna go walkies? We wanna go walkies. Come on in, let's go. Hi everyone, let's have an update. So I last left you when I was about to walk the dogs. So yeah, I walked the dogs, then I went to the shop and got some lunch, came back and listened to a little bit more of Silver Nitrate on audio. So I have now officially been going for 1 hour and 24 minutes. And I realised I didn't really talk about this book much. So this is meant to be horror. It did come in the Evernight subscription box from Illumicrate. And the first part of the book is titled Opening Title Sequence. And it was really just setting the scene. Like, it was all about the characters' lives, how they've come to be in the positions that they are in, and nothing like a horror book. So it was good. It just nothing horror there. So we have got into the second part of the book, which is called Feature Film. And now the kind of spooky, creepy vibes are coming in. So I have listened to chapter 6, so I'm about to start chapter 7. And yeah, the spookiness has started. So this is a book about 3 main characters. You've got 2 childhood best friends. They're now kind of like in their 40s. So we've got Montserrat, who's the female. We've got Tristan, who is the male. And he was an actor, and mainly soap acting. turned into kind of voice acting, dubbing over. She is a sound technician. No, wrong. Sound editor, I guess. Sound editor for the film industry. Tristan has moved house, and in his apartment building, they've met this old film editor, and yeah, he'd got this unfinished film that they are now going to help him complete. So that's basically what the synopsis has told us, and it's pretty much where we've got up to, but also kind of with the reasons why it wasn't completed, what they need to do to complete it now. So yeah, we're kind of at a good almost 1/3 of the way through. And to be honest, I do want to sit and physically read for a while now. Obviously, I've been listening to this on audio. So for my physical reads, I've got Masters of Death and The Woman in Black. I think I'm just going to carry on with Masters of Death, to be honest, for right now. My dog is going to the vets later, which was something that I was not anticipating happening today. I think that's why I got a bit emotional earlier as well. So this day could change. We're going to see how the vets goes. That's in a couple of hours. So I am going to try and probably get a good hour and a half reading in before I go to the vets. And we'll see how the reading goes. We'll obviously see how the vets goes, and I'll keep you updated. So excuse the massive jumper, it is cold at the moment, but I am almost 3 hours in, 2 minutes 50, and I'm like halfway through Masters of Death. This book is nuts. So when the blurb says that there's a real estate agent or an estate agent and she's a vampire, but the problem is that she can't sell the house because there's a ghost, there's a poltergeist, and then she has to go and find a medium who happens to be Godson of Death. That's just the beginning. There is so much more to this, and there's so many characters with all these different creatures, and I honestly think this is going to be like Marmite. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. It's going to go one way or the other. At the moment, I'm quite enjoying it purely because it's so different to anything I've read. Anyway, I am going to get ready to take Flower, my dog, to the vets, and we'll continue reading when I get back. So, back from the vets, and good news is that everything should be all right. So, just kind of worried a little bit, but yeah, it should be fine. So I feel like my anxiety can just go that little bit now, because I was a bit, no, that's an understatement. I was pretty anxious over it. So obviously that means that after no reading over the past hour and a half, it's now coming up to 20 to 6, and I still have 5 hours to read today. So I'm going to get back to it, and I'm going to go back to Masters of Death and continue and see how we get on. And now at this point, it's just me talking. There's no B-roll at all, and very little in this video in general. It's almost 8:30. I'm almost at the 5-hour mark. It's a good time for me to have a break. My eyes are hurting from like just looking at the page and constantly reading, and I did finish Masters of Death, and all I can think is, what did I just read? What is this? This is such a random book, and all I can say is, how did Olivie Blake think of this? Like, how did the idea of this enter her mind? She must be so creative in so many ways. I have got other books of hers that I haven't read yet, and what I know from what other people have said is that they're all slightly different to one another, and it's a bit like some you might like, some you might dislike. I don't even know if I can recommend this book because it was so weird. I do think some people will love it, some people will hate it. Personally, I don't really think it was for me. I wouldn't say I enjoyed reading this. I think I've just read it because I've told myself I have to. Like, it was okay, but it was just insane and not in a good way, I don't think. I don't know. But I appreciate the art. I appreciate that it was so different and so creative. But on the enjoyment factor, would I read this ever again? No. Would I recommend it? It depends, depending on, I don't know, I don't think even with knowing someone and their reading style, I don't know if you could recommend it or not. I think if you're tempted, if you like the idea of it, give it a go. And let me know what you think if you've read this, because anyway, so I've still got 3 hours to read. It's 8:30. I'm shattered. I'm not sure if I want to do a bit more physical reading or if I'm going to go back to my audiobook for a while. Probably the audiobook, and I'll see how I get on. It's definitely a challenge at this point. I think if I didn't have to go to the vets earlier, if I hadn't lost that, I think it was like an hour and 45 I was out of the house. If I hadn't lost that kind of good hour and a half, 2 hours, I'd have been fine. But no, it's a challenge. Yeah.
And he let out a hoarse cry. He felt the blood sliding down his nose, staining his lips, and his eyes were tearing up from the pain. He closed them and managed to find the door handle by touch alone, yanking it open and stumbling out into the hallway. His hand.
Full transparency, it is the next day. Obviously, I'm dressed slightly different. And I just want to wrap up this Google tells me how many hours I need to read in a day vlog. So I did, after my 8 hours of reading, finish my physical read of Masters of Death. Overall, I've given this 3 stars because it was okay. It was very different. I appreciate the creativity there. It's like nothing I've ever read. I literally was like, what did I just read? So yeah, it was good, but different. Maybe not so much in a good way, but yeah. And I'm definitely going to give her other books a go. And then Silver Nitrate, I managed to listen on audiobook to just over half of the book. And again, it's okay. I think at the moment it's looking at a 3-star read or listen. Creepy stuff has started to happen, but I'm just not gelling. And I think by the end of the 8 hours last night, it got to like 11:30. I was exhausted emotionally and physically because of my dog being, I would say being poorly, having that lump and having to go and get it checked out. And reading 8 hours is a lot for me. Reading 8 hours of books that are just okay was a little bit soul destroying, I'm not gonna lie. So I would only usually read that much in a day if I'm reading something and I'm hooked and I'm loving it, like a V. Schwab book, something that I'm so into and I really want to get like reading, get to the end. And neither of these were that kind of read. They were both, and obviously Silver Nitrate still is, just a little bit of a slog. I feel like I'm just getting through them for the sake of getting through them. And like, it's Thursday afternoon right now, is it? No, Friday afternoon right now. And I was going to read or listen to some more of my audiobook this morning over breakfast, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I'm a little bit migraine-y, and I was like, I just need a bit of a break from this book, to the point where I think I'm going to abandon my October TBR, and I think the next book I'm going to pick up is The Wake Up Call by Beth O'Leary. This was on my most anticipated reads for autumn, and I ordered it. It came, I opened it up probably this week. I think it was that I did that massive book haul. Yeah, it was early this week. And yeah, I really want to get into this and I'm really looking forward to it. And I just think it'll be a bit more light-hearted than carrying on with Silver Nitrate. And I know in this video I was even planning to read the Woman in Black, which is a very small book. I've just not got it in me, not right now. So yeah, I think I'm going to pick up the Wake Up Call for the rest of the day and the evening, and then come back to Silver Nitrate. But overall, did I enjoy doing 8 hours of reading, or this whole idea of Google decides how much I read? I did. It was a challenge. I think I would do it again, but I would have to make sure that it's a day where I've got the whole day and nothing else kind of going on mentally as well as kind of physically. And maybe do a bit more mood reading. Like maybe when I realised that neither of these were gripping me, I should have put them down and picked up something else. And that's something that I'm really bad at. I don't DNF books. I like to see it through and almost learn from it, like learn what wasn't going well and see if the end picked up, see how the books were resolved. So yeah, I did enjoy it. I probably will do this again. Maybe not for a while, we'll see. But anyway, thank you very much for joining me in this video. As usual, I will link any of the books mentioned in the description below. If you like the video, please remember to like it. It really does help. And subscribe if you want to see more bookish content from me if you're not subscribed already. Other than that, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.